amazing ladies in business. Welcome to the HerStory podcast. I am your host, Kylie King, joined by my little sidekick, Eddie, today because we are both so excited to welcome back the amazing Sara Knight from Louise Photography. Not only has she won our Overcoming the Odds in the ALIBI Awards in the past, she was also our official photographer for the 2025 ALIBI Awards, and I'm so excited she's back. Welcome, Sara. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Kylie. Always a pleasure to be here.
So just to give the listeners a recap in case they've missed your last episode, how would you talk about your business? What's the amazing work that you do in the world?
So I take photos. I guess that's a simple way of putting it. But so I do a lot of different photography. So I do business branding. I do event photos. I do family photos. I run special minis all through the year. As you can see, I'm actually sitting on my Christmas mini this year. And I offer them at affordable prices. I don't believe in overcharging, and I know a lot of photographers will hate on me for that, but I don't. I have the ability to, be able to do my job, make an income for myself and not charge exorbitant prices. So, being in that position has been a gift for everyone else, I guess. I love my job. I love taking photos. I believe everyone needs to have photos. It's very, very important to document, not just, little events and stuff like that, but document the history of your family. So, down the line, your great grandkids will go, oh, that's my great grandparent, and this is what they look like. So I think it's very, very important. And we've been documenting stuff since the dawn of time, through, cave paintings and all that. So it's very important to me and very passionate about photography.
And I think too, now that we have these things in our hands, the phones, we take so many pictures, but it's always different angles and too many photos, and it's not taking those actual moments to get a nice photo and then of course display it somewhere, because unfortunately if you don't back your photos up, they're gone. So I think it's so important to still reach out to a photographer and get the Christmas photo. Even if it's the only photo you get every year, you can watch your family grow, the kids grow, yourself grow, the puppies grow, whoever's involved in that photo. So I think it is super important.
It is so important. And you know what? In my line of work, and even myself as a mother, I found I'm always taking the photos. I'm never on the other side. So, having those photos with your mum as well is super important. Like when you lose that, when your kids lose you and that, they want to have those memories as well. They're like, oh, your mum took this photo, but, mum's not in the photo. So it is very important to have those sessions. Another reason why my Mother's Day minis are also super, super cheap, because, mums are important and deserve to be in the photo.
Now, from a business perspective, let's talk about business. How important is business branding photos?
Extremely important. You need to be able to show your customers, your clients, and the world who you are. You can go and use stock photos all you want, but yet that is not showing who you are. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry could have the exact same photo, but how many photos are there of you doing what you do best? So when I do business branding, it's not just sitting in the studio doing your headshots. Yeah, we do headshots and we add all that to the package as well. But what I do is I come in and I take photos of you doing your job. All right, it's not staged or anything like that. I generally try and get you to invite customers or clients to come in and engage with you while you're working, if they're okay with that. And I take photos of that. So if you're making something, I actually have one coming up with for keeps, and the plan is I actually want to photograph her doing her job. So as she's making the preservation for the flowers and stuff like that, I want to actually photograph her doing her job, because that's what clients and people resonate with, is you actually doing your job. So myself, I get my kids and that they work in my business now, they take photos of me doing my job, and it's just so important. So yeah, you need to show your clients what you do and what you do best.
And I think it's important to also keep them updated. So, as we mentioned before, with Christmas photos, seeing the families grow, but also having your photo, especially a good headshot or a good about us photo, is
Yeah.
super important. And then, so when clients see you, they resonate. So if you've changed your hair color since then, make sure your photos are updated.
Yeah.
If you know, if you've unfortunately aged a little bit, like not using business photos from 10 years ago, because it's like, I don't want to say it's like catfishing, but you know what I mean? Like if I see a photo on a website and then I rock up and the person's looking completely different, it can unconsciously create a sense of mistrust. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the person I was talking to, or that's not the person I was expecting to see. So I think it's
Exactly.
very important to make sure that you have
At
updated.
least every 2 to 3 years getting those updates. And, yeah, there are some photographers who charge an arm and a leg, but there are us beautiful, decent photographers out there who don't charge or offer payment plans, all that sort of stuff. So, and we're doing everything we can to help you show your business, but definitely getting those updated headshots at least. That'd be good. Eddie. I love that little boy.
He is on fire
He's one of my
today. He
favorite models.
the best assistant today. He's great at photography, but listening and doing interviews not as much. So, but no, I think it's very important. So updating every 3 years
Yeah.
for your photos. What would you say? Okay, let's just talk about it. The AI trend. Why pay for photos when I can just stick my face on AI and they can make me look like I've lost 20 kilos, I have no facial issues, like blotches and acne and stuff. I mean, I don't mean other facial issues, but it's going to smooth my skin, it's going to put the makeup on me, it's going to make me so much thinner. Why not just use AI for my photography?
Oh, you just you gotta push those buttons. So as much as we enjoy, playing around with AI and all that, there are several things about AI that a lot of people don't know. So it actually changes your facial structure, your body structure, and all that. So therefore, you're not actually truly representing yourself, and you're giving a false narrative. So again, it's creating a mistrust with the clients. I actually just speech with the Penrith Chamber of Commerce about why you shouldn't use AI headshots and all that sort of stuff, because it does alter who you are. But not only that, these apps and all that have all your information and are leaking your information. I remember, was it 2 years ago, that aging yourself app, and it was
Yeah.
literally, yeah, they were leaking the information. So there's not to be trusted. I mean, using ChatGPT and all that, all your information's out there. When you're doing this stuff to yourself, it is not authentically you. Yes, they're fun. I played around with them. They're fun, when you want to do the spooky stuff. But your actual photographer, if they're skilled enough, can put makeup on you if you don't want to wear makeup, can get rid of the blemishes, can smooth your skin out, but make it so it's still you.
Mm. And I think that's what's important. It's got to be you, or especially if you know, your business, you are the founder, and founder content at the moment is going gangbusters. Like,
Mhm.
found people wanting to see who's behind the business because
Mhm.
we've spent years and years buying from big brands. And we don't know who's behind that, like the big corporations.
Yeah.
So people want to start trusting in small business more, buying from small business more, but they also want to know who that is. So
Yeah.
showing up as an AI persona or showing up with older photos, it's good to start that like no trust by having up to date business photos. And I know a lot of women, and I'm going to say women because that's mostly our listeners,
Yeah.
hate photos of themselves. Absolutely hate them. Will not take them. That's why they're always behind the camera.
Yeah. And that's hitting the nail on the head right there. And that's because we grow up with this image of what we're supposed to look like. And it's wrong. I mean, you look at supermodels and that in magazines, they don't look like that. They are altered. Photographers have gone in, made them skinnier, taken away all their imperfections, and they don't look like that in real life. And and growing up, we think we have to be that perfect too. And guess what? You don't have to be. You are beautiful the way you are. And that is definitely something in my business I really try and show. I refuse to make you skinny. I refuse to, I had a request. A man asked me to make his wife's face skinnier. And I said no. And I was, as morally and ethically, I don't believe in that because your wife's beautiful. You know, So I won't do that personally myself. I mean, there's days where I feel down about my body as well. I've got a bit of a cortisol belly fat thing going on at the moment. But at the end of the day, these are our bodies. We were given these beautiful bodies, and they are ours to cherish and love. And we shouldn't let anyone, or even our own selves, put us down for being, who we are.
Hmm. And I think as well too, you do want to. I would hate to, you know, knock on wood, get older and then not even recognize the person in those photos. I think for me to, or my children not to recognize the person in those photos. So I think it is such an important thing to also then, showing up for your business, but then also showing up for your family. So taking those times, as you mentioned, to give the camera to someone else. So give the camera
Hmm.
to giving cameras to kids is hilarious,
Oh,
by
it
the
is.
way,
Oh, yeah.
because you're seeing their point of view, and their point of view is such a beautiful thing in its own right because they see things that you don't see. They pick up on other things, and also the height angle is just hilarious when you give a
I,
kid a
I,
camera.
I, I need to give you a copy of my book, so you and the kids can have a bit of fun with it. But that's another thing that I support, kids taking photos. So, and that's with the other company that I just started, Snappling Media. It's all around children taking photos and doing photography and all that with their parents. So yeah, so
Mm.
give your kid you know what? I reckon a 3-year-old can work an iPhone better than us adults these days. So
100%. But yeah, taking the time to give the kid the iPhone or give the partner the phone and then maybe teach him something how to take a good photo. Because I have seen those memes where it says, you take the photo and then this is the photo you wanted and
yeah,
this is the
I
photo you
swear
got.
my husband makes me look like yeah. So it's about teaching him the angles. Maybe I should do a course on how to teach husbands how to do photos. That's a good, yeah.
I
I'll have to
think
give you
that
real
might
tips on
be,
that one.
or maybe just a chapter in your book about the kids, and we can incorporate with the kids how to teach the
Hey, dads
husbands as
can do it.
well.
Maybe that's my next book, photography for dads. I've got a whole
Beautiful.
thing for, kids and how to do, parents to do it and what they learn and all that. Now I should do one for photographers. That's a really good one. That's one I'm going to work on now. It's in my head now, Kylie.
But I think it is important because just having someone else take the photo, whether
Yeah,
it's someone else in the group, it's a different family member, a friend, but giving them access to take it so that you are in a couple of photos.
yeah.
Because I know even at the end, and I know we covered on business branding and AI, but let's say knock on wood something happens. I had a client recently who said she couldn't find a funeral photo for her mum.
Oh,
And the photo she found, she was like a teenager, and it didn't show the essence of all this, that this lady had experienced in her life. And she
yeah.
was now, how I think she passed away at the age of 88. And the last photo they had of her was her wedding photo.
Oh my goodness. So
And
that's a
that was the
prime
one that they
example.
had used for the funeral. And, that's, say she got married at 20 and she's now 88 when she passed. That's 68 years of a beautiful life lived, had experience, had a
Mhm.
family, but unfortunately was always the photographer, never the person in the photo. So I know women seem to have this thing about not wanting to see themselves on photos. They don't think they look good because of the media and the airbrushing and all of that. But I would encourage anyone listening now to go and take a photo.
Yeah,
Go
do
take
it.
take a
And
selfie,
even
take
just,
a selfie.
going doing a professional photo. You always look good if we're in front of a professional photographer. We're not going to make you look bad. If we make you look bad, we're not doing our job. And I've had so many uncomfortable clients come in. They were so scared. Go read my reviews. That's all I got to say. And as for, that my neighbors, I absolutely adore my neighbors. She came over the other day and she wanted to get some family photos. All her family's finally going to be together. She's in her 70s, her husband's in his 80s, and they want an updated one. And all her kids and grandkids are like, oh no, Nan, you don't have to. And she's like, no, I want one. I listen to my neighbor. It's important. I want one, and I want it as a memory for you guys and great grandkids and all that down the track. So it is so important, to just get those photos and be included in those photos.
Beautiful. So if you had a tip for someone wanting to either take a photo or book in for a photographer, so they can take either business branding, Christmas minis, whatever sort of photo, just getting them in a photo and doing something? What would your tips be?
Well, if you're looking for professional ones, go on reviews, go on budget.
Hmm.
You know, check them out fully. Make sure they are legit, because I know there are some, like, oh, here you pay $10 and you get a sitting, and then next minute you're paying $3,000. And me and my mentors were we don't like companies like that at all. With me, I'm straightforward. You have your price straight up. I actually have a lot of my prices listed on my website. So if you go to branding session, you get 3 hours for $780, all the photos, and we work together. And there's a lot more included in that as well. And that's the price that you pay, $780. All right. If you want family photos, I think my largest package is $400, and you just pay that price, $400. My Santa photos at the moment, yeah, $100 for half an hour. You get your 20 digital images, but if you want to buy the full album, it's not hundreds of dollars, it's $35. So, just make sure that you look at the reviews, check them out fully, make sure that they're legit and there's no hidden costs. Even just chat to them. I'm okay with chatting with you. I don't have an issue with it. So if you want to ask a question that you don't go with me, that's no harm on me. You've obviously found someone that you gel with, and that's okay. So, you know, definitely look at who you're hiring, because I've had past clients come to me and they've had very different experiences of previous clients. Don't go Airtasker again. One of my other clients who did not get a single photo of her son at his first birthday. Got hundreds of photos, but not one of her son. So, just be careful who you hire, look into who you hire, and make sure they resonate with what you want. So you don't get very many photographers like me. I can do a multitude of things. I can change my style and all that to suit my clients, but generally everyone has a particular style. So
You mentioned a really good point there that I think is good to highlight. Get someone that resonates with what you want. So if you are so I know that you're based in Penrith, New South Wales. I know that you travel and you're happy for people to come to you. But however, if someone's listening from Queensland or Western Australia and they can't make it to us, be really clear with your expectations for the photographer. So I've seen this so many times in the community, in the ALIBI community, where people have said, I've got my photos and I'm not happy. Yes, that's the photographer's job, and I know that you're very succinct. I know with the ALIBI Awards, we gave you a shot list and you made sure that shot list was it was all ticked. So if anyone is looking at getting a photographer and you're getting family photos or business photos, be very clear on what you want. So I want a photo of me on the phone because I do all my work on the phone. I want a photo of me sitting down chatting with a client because that's how I do my coaching calls. I want a photo with my next branding shot, I want a photo with all my sound healing instruments because I use my sound healing instruments a lot. But you need to then tell that photographer or give them a shot list so they know. Because if they're coming in for a normal branding shoot, they might be like, okay, we've got you with the coffee, we've got you with the phone, we've got you okay, we're done. So I think you mentioning you got to be very clear on your expectation. And same with the family members, this beautiful neighbor of yours, she might want one with all the family, but then she might just want one with her and her partner, or her and her kids, or her and each kid with their kids. So be very intentional and be very specific in what you're telling your photographer, because I have seen in the group where people have come back and gone, I wasn't happy because they didn't meet my aesthetic. Well, were you clear on what you required from your photographer and made sure that they understand so that you can? So I think that's a very important point that you brought up. And not just with photographers, any business that you engage. Even if it's in the community. I don't care if it's a copywriter or whatever. Make sure you're clear on what you want, because don't then be stung or like, oh, I've had a bad service, if you weren't clear on what your expectations were.
Well, that's it. And not everyone is like me. I make sure that I ask all the questions because I want to give you 100%, So not everyone is like me. I am unique. I am one of a kind. You will not meet another photographer like me. I think Adam Knox said that. Beth, he's never had a student like me. He will never have a student like me again. So, you do have to be very clear about your expectations and what you want, because not every photographer is going to sit down with you prior, have a coffee, have an hour-long meeting, go, let's go over what exactly your wants, needs, and what do you want to show. And then checking in. They don't all do that, and they do, like, a lot of them do the same shots for every business, and that's a shame. That's another reason why I go into your business and I go, let's take the photos of you doing your job. That's just the way I work. And I think I feel every photographer who does branding should be like that, but they all have their own little scripts, and I don't fit that script, so
And that's fair enough. So, how do we stalk you, Sarah? How do we find you?
So you can find me at my website, saralouisephotography.com.au. No H, ladies and gentlemen, no H. Um, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can go through my website, through my social pages. I did just start a new TikTok called Sara Louise Photography, so come and stalk us on there as well. Currently, you'll see Santa doing a few dances on our TikTok, so or me doing the aesthetic cleaning, or the lovely Wayne from at Dibella Cleaning that we have come in the cleaning, cleaning this beautiful red couch that I'm currently sitting on. So that's how you can stalk us, find us, or anything like that. And as Kylie said, I do travel everyone. If you feel that you can't find somebody that fits your aesthetic or need, give us a reach out, and then we can work something out. I'm happy to travel interstate and all that as well.
Beautiful. So I will pop all of those links below. And you also mentioned your Snapling Media. So I will pop those links along. So it'll be a great Christmas present, a great end of year, even just for something to do over the school holidays with your kids. If you're like, oh, I need to entertain these children, what can I do? It's a beautiful book that you've self-published that you can do it with them.
Exactly, and literally it has hundreds of photography ideas you can do with just the phone, and gives you step-by-step instructions and what the child learns in each lesson as well. And I worked really, really, really hard on this book, so now we're going to work on one for dads now too.
Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to pop all your links below, and yeah, I will see you around. Thank you for talking to me about the importance of business branding and getting in front of the camera.
Exactly, and thank you so much for having me, Kylie. As always, I absolutely enjoy it, and Eddie too. I love Eddie. I love him in front of the camera.